Israel continues to make it difficult to get the kind of humanitarian aid that desperate people need. So to my mind, the most important thing the United States government can do is say to Mr. Netanyahu, you know what? You cannot continue this disastrous, horrific war. You cannot allow children by the thousands to face starvation, or you're not getting another nickel. Now, I think one of the incongruities that a lot of people in America see is everybody is criticizing Netanyahu, and then they're saying in the next word, oh, here, Mr. Netanyahu, here's another $14 billion on top of the $3.5 billion you got. You're a terrible guy. You're doing terrible things. But here's your money. I think our policy has got to be very clear. Not another nickel for Netanyahu's right-wing extremist government while hundreds of thousands of people in Gaza face starvation, period.
And that is pretty clear. Bernie, for some time now, has been, I'd say, bolder than the vast majority of politicians, very straightforward on this. Obviously, his initial stances were criticized by many progressives, but he's going obviously there, far past where like President Biden, for instance, would go, where his criticism mostly comes in the form of, we get leaks about phone calls, and he was apparently quite harsh, quite stern on a phone call, but people are still dying. So that doesn't seem to be enough. In any event, it's the numbers, man. I dread it. I dread it. We're sitting here. We have the money. We have the resources. We have the vehicles. We could bring them in by ship. We could drop them by helicopters. All of these things could be done. We're not allowed to do it. We're simply not allowed to do it. We can ship over. We can transport weapons. We can do that. We can get them there very expeditiously. All sorts of different bombs, small bombs, 500 kilogram bombs, whatever you want. But when it comes to food, seemingly not. And we're talking about chocolate croissants. There are people trying to bake bird seed into things so that their kids won't starve to death. And to know that we're doing all of this while we have this domestic political movement in America that supposedly cares very, very deeply about every child's life, every baby's life. Well, they're starving there. And I know that they didn't have the good luck to be born in America so that you'd care about them, but they are starving, they are dying. And as a new parent, I just think about how utterly unbearable the moment-to-moment lives of so many people, nearly 1 million people are right now. And it could be stopped. We could use our influence. And yet, what do we get? We hope that Bernie will say something. We hope that maybe he's talking to Biden behind the scenes. Yeah. And yet, it continues on day by day.
I have very strong thoughts on the different Democrats involved here, but I want to go to Bernie's campaign co-chair for his presidential run, Nina.
Yeah, thanks, Gene. I mean, it's time out for just talking. It's time for doing. And I agree. I'm glad that the senator is making it plain, but no more behind the scenes. This president is complicit, and by extension, he is making the American people complicit in genocide. You can't drop bombs and drop bread. You can't say you're gonna have a temporary ceasefire. We need a permanent, lasting ceasefire. Let's get all the hostages back, and let's help that region, that area, create a situation where Palestinians and Israelis can live in security and peace. Nothing less. It's past time that even before October the 7th, even before what we see happening right now, but knowing all that we know, nothing else, nothing less can be acceptable. And John, your point about being a new parent, can you imagine? And no, they really don't give a damn about the kids here. Let's just say the kids don't have bombs dropping over their heads, but many children in this country go to bed hungry at night, or at least not full enough. And that means that their communities are too. So the reason why they don't care about what's happening over there is because they don't care about what's happening over here. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And blaming the Republicans is one thing, but all of these Democrats, including the president of the United States of America, is funded by AIPAC and AIPAC affiliated organizations. They are bought and sold, and they are grifters. And that is why we're not seeing action. Let's just tell the American people the truth.
100%. Let me back that up in many different ways. Pausing here to deliver some honest truth, as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's gonna make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you, thank you. So first of all, I will give a call out to the Democrats that are heroes on this one. And so far, I can name approximately 0 Republicans who are heroes on this. None. They all take AIPAC money. Speaker Johnson's #1 donor is AIPAC, and number one donor of Ted Cruz and many other Republicans are AIPAC. The Republicans will do anything that Israel orders them to do. And the Democratic Party is a cesspool as well, but being fair, it's about 80% of the Democrats versus 100% of the Republicans. So in that 20% of good guy Democrats, they have called for a ceasefire. And yes, that means 80% of the Democrats in Congress, 6 months in, with 1 million people starving, 33,000 dead, still have not called for a ceasefire. 80% of Democrats. So if you think the Democratic Party overall are the good guys, I have a very rude awakening for all of you. So now the good guys for a second, the 20% that are actually the only people who have any morality in Washington, D.C. Second of all, Chris Van Hollen has been an unbelievable hero throughout this. And I mean that very literally, I can't believe it. So he was generally a normal establishment Democrat, and then he took a turn here, and it might be like, they always talk about go to the border, go to the border. I don't think that helps 1% to look at a line on the sand in the border, right? But Chris Van Hollen went to Rafah in January. And there's some chance that he came back and thought, Jesus, after what I saw, no, I'm just not indecent enough to help Israel do this. But for whatever reason he did, Van Hollen has been awesome on this issue. And so that's coming from a guy who didn't normally always agree with Van Hollen. Bernie Sanders, the most successful Jewish American politician ever in American history, and had been a hero here. So you could nitpick, hey, when did he call for the ceasefire? When did he say this word or that word? But here he is on television, one of the most powerful politicians in America, saying, not another nickel to Israel. Stop the money. Stop the money until they stop slaughtering these people. That's a true American, that's a true hero. Now to the bad guys. Joe Biden, guess who his top donor is? Yep, AIPAC. Taking $11.2 million over the course of his career. In US Senate history, no one has taken more campaign contributions from AIPAC than Joe Biden. So Joe Biden says, I want credit because I told Israel to cut it out. And I told them that there'd be no malarkey, and I waved my finger at them. Meanwhile, while Bernie's saying, not another nickel, Joe Biden is saying, oh, please, please, Congress, rush through the $14 billion for more bombs and more destruction. And Israel, I will wag the finger publicly. Hey, Michigan voters, Minnesota voters, remember, I care about Palestinians. Wink. Meanwhile, AIPAC, don't worry. I will help you guys, you lobbyists here, get money to a foreign government so they could kill so many more Palestinians. So Joe Biden, spare us your bull, okay? Yes. We're not mainstream media. We're not gonna believe any of your obvious lies. Until you stop the money, until you stop funding this genocide, all of your words are so empty. They're such trash. And if you say, oh, but you guys, hey, are you guys, you seem emotional about this. And you aren't? Guys, did you see the starving babies? So we showed you 2 weeks ago, they started starving to death already. There was already a couple of dozen dead. And then you see the babies, and they look like the pictures and the videos look like they're out of the Holocaust. And every day I wake, to John's point, every day I wake up thinking, how many more children starved today in Palestine? So with all those kids starving to death in the year 2024, I'm supposed to give Biden credit for mildly criticizing Netanyahu while he funds every dollar that Netanyahu wants to murder more Palestinians. And yes, I said murder, because it's definitely murder. You don't get to imagine, last thing, imagine if the shoe's on the other foot. So that even for the Israeli zealots, I don't know if there's any chance you could open their mind even 1%. But if they can, think about it. Imagine that Israel attacked Hamas and killed, or Gaza and killed 1,200 people there. And we decided that was bad. So we let Hamas kill 33,000 Israelis. And we're funding Hamas, America is, in this hypothetical. And now they've killed 23,000 Israeli women and children. And then they're starving 1 million Jews to death. And we see these pictures of their babies and children starving to death. Imagine we sent 14 billion to Hamas or to Palestinians or to anyone else that's doing that. We would never, ever, ever do that. Why? Because Israeli lives are worth 1,000 times what Palestinian lives are to American politicians who are all crooks and take money from foreign government lobbyists, which are legalized bribes, so that they say, I don't care about Palestinian lives at all. AIPAC, you send me the money, I send you the money back 10,000 times more. You give me $11 million, I give you $14 billion. And it's not my money anyway, it's the taxpayer money. And I will help you kill more Palestinian children, because as long as I get paid, that's who Joe Biden is. Prove me wrong, Joe Biden, prove me wrong. You won't. Instead, you will bow your head, you will have mainstream media do propaganda for you and go, oh, well, he wagged his finger, he wagged 2 fingers. Shut up, reporters, tell the truth, tell the truth. How come not a single mainstream media reporter in this country has reported that he's taking $11 million from AIPAC? You don't think that's relevant? You don't think that's relevant? Okay, well then 99% of Americans would find you to be clinically insane if you think $11 million is not relevant to a politician. So why are you covering up the corruption that is built into the system that is killing all those people? Both our establishment media and our establishment politicians, like Joe Biden and 100% of the Republican Party, are hopeless. All they care about is those juicy, legalized bribes. Bribes, now from foreign governments, so-called funneled through American citizens so they could be legal. But that is what's murdering the Palestinian citizens, and that is a fact. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.